With America's Promise, how do you teach kids to build connections and build relationships? I know that was key in your life. How do you teach the children building relationships?
You show them good relationships first and foremost in the family. A child is learning on day one. The child learns within the first few months of life what that mother means to that child. That's the language the child will learn when he hears from the mother. The child looks around and hopefully he sees love in the home.
Yeah.
He looks around and sees other siblings and cousins and relatives, and that's his tribe, that's his family, that's his pride. That's where he belongs. So in the very first few months of life, you've got to give the child a sense of belonging to a group. I watch National Geographic all the time, and I watch how mammals, lions and tigers raise their cubs.
Yeah.
They keep them close to them,
Yeah.
and they don't let them do a single thing beyond their capability of doing it, or else pop, bring them back in. So we got to teach our children early on how to behave. There was a word that was used when I was growing up, mind your manners. You know, mind your adults, mind your teachers. Say what? Remember those?
Yeah.
And that's what I grew up with. And if we don't put that into the lives of our children at an early age, they'll go in the other direction. And so if the family isn't there to do it, then what do? You have to get coaches, you have to get religious figures, you have to count on the schools, but the school can't just be a place to house the children. If they don't come into that school with a good start, they're already on their way to failure. We have statistics that will show that if a child has not been read to, age 1, 2, 3, and 4, if the child does not know colors or numbers, can't tie his shoes, can't mind his manners,
Right.
when that child goes to school, kindergarten to first grade, he's smiling, she's smiling, just like every other kid.
Yeah.
Until about halfway through first grade, the child realizes,
That
I'm not up with these other kids. And if you haven't corrected that by third grade, that child is on the way to failure. We can predict the dropout rate, we can predict the incarceration rate. And so we as African Americans, we as citizens of this great country, this great city and state, we can't keep looking elsewhere for the solution. The solution is right here. How do we teach our young boys and girls to act respectfully to one another, to understand the significance of forming a partnership for life? That's where we got to get started. But when we're having 72% of our children born out of marriage,
Right.
and when we have so many single-parent households that are mostly women, we've got a problem. That is a structure that Daniel Patrick Moynihan predicted 50 years ago would be the downfall of the African American community. But we can't let it be the downfall of the African American community. We've come too far, but we've got to keep working at it, and none of us can turn away. I've adopted a school in Washington, D.C., and I go to a nice Episcopal church in McLean, Virginia, fairly nice neighborhood. But I told my priest, we're not doing enough out here. We've got to get into the city.
Right.
So we adopted an all-Hispanic black school and been working with that school now for 15 years. And we mentor those kids. They come to our church in the summer to get extra education and mentoring on Saturday morning. And these kids are put on a path to success. They have to be taught to believe in themselves. They have to be taught that there is a future waiting for you, but you got to get it. You know, you got to go get it. And so somehow too many of our kids have lost this, and they never had it in the first place. I was on the board of Howard University, and I'm also now an advisor to the president of Howard. And it disturbs me that the entering class of freshmen, African American youngsters, roughly is 68% female, 32% male. That's the same statistic you'll find in any college, historically, black or not. And those ladies will graduate at a higher rate than the boys will. They're going to be successes, but they're not going to find suitable partners.
Right.
And we got a long-range problem with this. And we can't just keep looking at someone else or citing some study. We got to get to work on it, every single one of us in some way, get in the life of a child who's in need.